Thank you to our chairman. I am Norhayati Rafida with my colleague, Associate Professor Dr. Norailis. We will present to you our findings or our research findings on titled Mapping Environmental Communication Literature via Bibliometric Analysis. Around the world, we've been talking about environmental issues and how this communication is delivered and how these messages are delivered either through traditional mainstream media or the new media. So environmental communication is both a profession and a subject of study at a time when urgency is growing. So if it's so true, if one research or research on environmental communication grows at a time of um, um, crisis, for example, then we want to see how that discussions on environmental communication um, has been established throughout the years. In the worldwide, national and regional communication discipline associations during this time, governmental communication divisions were founded. Yeah, communication. We understand that how communication is actually is within and involved of every aspect of our life nowadays. Yeah, so in recent years, a growing number of new studies have deepened our understanding of the connections between environmental communication and culture, identity, media, journalism, conflict, animals, and the environment itself. So, to what extent, yeah, that the study of environmental communication is actually established around the world. Therefore, our intention is to identify the mapping of the environmental communication studies among the critical literatures from 2000 until 2022. This is uh, the concept of environmental communication, where it's about the dissemination of information and the implementation of communication practices related to environment. We understand that communication of environmental is complex, involving verbal, non-verbal, personal, interpersonal, and visual communication. So there were cases, in fact, in Malaysia involve social media. I would say more proactively, and it has been in the platform of news coverage, especially which affect that particular issues. So this is the trace of environmental communication. It's about knowledge of ecological laws, sensitivity to the cultural dimension, ability to network effectively, efficiency in using media for social agenda setting, appreciation and practice of environmental ethics, and lastly, conflict resolution, mediation, and arbitration. So this our method is actually using Biblioshiny application, where we identify the keyword of environmental and then communication. We limit the search of the articles from year 2000 until 2022. Our finding shows that the annual scientific production of environmental communication is high in 2020, which is 85 articles, while the list is 9 articles in year 2000. And the average number of article citations per year is quite low in year 2022, while the highest citations occurred in year 2000, which equals to 371 citations. Yeah, so there is quite um, um, I would say a sudden increase, a sudden drop of citation as we go along until 2022. So these findings illustrate the most common keywords from the abstract of each of the documents, and it shows that the most frequently used keyword with 128 occurrences is the communication, while the environmental impact have 52 articles. Uh, I would say that the moderate numbers is uh, is is about environment, and then about meal and sustainable development, which equals to 57. So, in conclusion, it's critical to stress that a valuable guide for future research, particularly those from environmental communication, in understanding the kinds of communication values that are embedded in environmental articles produced by communication scholars. Therefore, it is advised that future researchers should embark on the citations and production of the articles as to sustain strong reference in the aspect of environmental communication studies. With that, I close my presentation. Thank you so much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh.